let's talk about programming for a little bit. Like if let's say we got someone watching who's a beginner at this. He's most people have gone in and thrown some dumbbells around a little bit in life. By the time they're 16, how would you recommend someone gets from point A to point B and become an actual and say compete in their first meet event?
The biggest thing I preach is form and technique. Especially working with the kids in the high school, I let them know right off the bat. Here, look, you're not here to impress me or here to impress anybody else. Look, folks, form and technique. Drug-free. You got to take care of your body, all right? Squatting, deadlifting, you want to wreck yourself, you can do it real quick with bad form and technique, okay? And let me tell you something. It takes a check of your ego, your pride, your manhood. I try never to say you're doing something wrong, okay? Because that just puts everybody in a negative aspect. Look, I see what you're doing. Can I show you something that might help you in a better way? Maybe safer and get you results a lot longer. So let's start with a base foundation. Look, let's start with the bar. Let's go back to the bar, okay? Let's get the form and technique right, all right? Watching YouTube, watching others' templates and diagrams. And you know what, man? You got to get around people who are seasoned lifters. You got to get around people who've been in the game. You got to get around people that know what they're doing. And if you can't do that in your local gym, reach out to them. Let me tell you something, folks. The worst thing somebody can say to you is no. All right, thank you very much. Let's move on to somebody else. Maybe that person will take some time. There's some great coaches out there. There's some great trainers out there. Trust me, folks, you want to find somebody, you'll be able to find them, and they'll be able to take some time to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Being drug-free, sometimes, folks, listen, sometimes rest is more important than training. You got to listen to your body, okay? You got a cold, you're throwing up, you got diarrhea, don't go into the gym and squat. That's dumb, okay? You're going to beat yourself into possibly an injury and then a setback that's going to take you months to recover from, let alone maybe just being sick. If you've been in the gym 5 days out of the week and you've squatted 3 of those, okay, whoa, wait, what's going on here? Why are you doing that? And what are you trying to accomplish? Are you squatting heavy all the time? Are you trying to bench for single max reps all the time? Are you deadlifting for max reps all the time? Programming, and everybody's chemistry, everybody's body's different, all right? I might have somebody that built like yourself, sumo pull, and the next guy I'm like, no, you're conventional. And you're like, wait a minute, you just told me to sumo. Yeah, because the way I see your leverages, your hips, your strength, you're sumo, okay? This guy over here that's 6'6", 180 pounds, his leverages, his knuckles drag on the floor. He's not going to be a sumo puller. He's going to be a conventional puller, okay? So you got to be having that opportunity to be around good people, know what they're doing, have been in the game, can actually take the knowledge that they've either gained through experience, being a professional trainer, or maybe sometimes because of their mistakes. Not because they read it in a book. Being around good people. Start with a foundation. Learn how to squat. Learn how to bench. Learn how to deadlift. Okay? And if that takes somebody outside of your comfort zone, man, what do you want to do? Is it your goal to learn and move forward? Then guess what? Even as a personal trainer, even as a professional, yeah, I have my own way of training, but I got to be open to somebody else's technique because that little tidbit might help the next person that walks through my door.
Right.
Okay?
Sometimes it's not always something for you.
Oh, yeah.
It might be something that you see someone in a similar situation that other trainer, was working with, and you're like, wait a second, I can use that to help this guy out.
Yeah, absolutely. Why is he not deadlifting, but he's front squatting? Okay? Why is he doing overhead squats to warm up? Why is he doing a whole bunch of band chest pulls? I don't understand why he's doing some dynamic dumbbell warm-ups before he bench presses. Why don't you just load 135 on and go? Whoa, man. He's probably dealing with an injury. Maybe he's rehabbing. Maybe he's prehabbing.
Yeah.
You know, I've learned a lot of lessons over the years. I mean, it's 21 years of experience, and you know, having to be open. Yeah, it's an ego check. I love the technique that was instilled in me from my coach and the training philosophy, and I do a lot of that for my guys. You know, programming, whether it be a 5x5. You know, what's been popular, the Windler 5-3-1, the cube method, or, you know, a West Side template, okay? And I'm telling you, folks, the West Side principles will work. They've worked for me, and they've worked for others. Yeah, you got to adapt it, and that will drive Louis nuts because, you know, if you're adapting or making a change to a West Side template, it's not West Side anymore. And he's right, it is. But the principles do work, okay? You got to learn how to adapt them. You got to learn how to do it and understand that, okay, they squat a certain way because of the gear, and they squat a certain way because of the performance of the rules that they have to adhere to. Does it still mean that I can increase my posterior chain work? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's get the hips and the hamstrings strong and the low back. Why not? The core, okay? Absolutely. It's going to work, okay? Thank goodness for reverse hypers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Can some of the guys actually say that I use them as guinea pigs? I'm sure they do. I'm sure they probably feel that way at times. But you know what? I let them know that if we're making PRs, you know, at a constant rate, okay, we're not making, all right, oh my gosh, we made a 150-pound jump in our squat every meet. Well, yeah, we could do that if we started with a bar, you know. But if the guys are actually hitting plateau after plateau after plateau because of a certain style of training, all right, stop. You already know what got you to this point. Let's take a look at what you're doing. Let's revamp it. Let's throw something in. And then let's do a full 8-week, 10-week, 12-week training cycle to get a full synopsis of what you did. And then compare and contrast. Just don't try something for 2 weeks and say, I don't think it's working. No, give it 110%.
Right.
Give it the time period that the program requires, and then compare and contrast. You know, jumping around, you're never going to get results. Week to week, you know, 2 weeks just in and out of the Smavlov, you know, cube, 5-3-1, 5-5-5, cone, Gillingham, you know, West Side, whatever, you know, Niko, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, if you keep jumping around week after week or 2 weeks, man.
And it's not a system anymore.
It's not a system. Right. You've got a jumbled mess, you know. And then you come to me and it's like, I don't know, Clark Griswold's lights.
I know, right? If you try and rush things, you know, it always bites you. But if you let the whole cycle go through at the end of it, and then you do your kind of your week where, you know, your kind of deload week before you test yourself again, you're stronger. Right. You know, if you give it, you know, say every 12 weeks or something, and you stick to the program and do it, invariably you're going to get a PR on something.
Right. And maybe it's a sense of correcting a form.
Right.
All right. So maybe you're not deadlifting, you know, 600 pounds and looking like a question mark anymore. You're actually deadlifting 550 with proper form. It's 50 pounds off what you've ever pulled before. But you know what? You're going to be able to continue deadlifting for at least the next 10, 15 years without injury.
Yeah.
You know, rather than looking like a question mark and, oh, I can deadlift 600 pounds.
Right.
No, you look like a fool. And people are going to say, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
You know, that's not going to help you in the long run.